Back at it again, baby, and we have another one with Denise D'Souza. Hopefully I pronounced his name correctly, but let's dive in.
So you were talking about the evolution of the term white supremacy, racism, all of those ideas, but the fact is white supremacy is not new. The conservative values that you and many here wish to uphold, y'all kind of ignore the fact that this country was founded on the genocide of Native Indigenous peoples who were called primitive savages and murdered, massacred. Racism and white supremacy is not a bipartisan issue. It's an American issue and one which we must all come to terms with. But if the American dream, which you were talking about, is that anyone can do anything and be anything that they want, how can we support this kind of fanciful idea when the reality is that Native peoples and so many other marginalized groups, through systemic economic barriers partly caused by the environment of our founding, are left behind from that dream?
I find it funny when people always bring up the founding of like that was yesterday or something. Like, huh? Like it just doesn't make sense. It's like me pointing out the fact that your great grandmother I don't know, did something horrible, so yeah, you're to blame for it. Yeah, you remember that? Well, if you didn't, I'm gonna remind you, so you got to pay for that now. You know, I don't know. That just seems ridiculous to me. But y'all let me know how y'all feel in the comment section, please.
Caused by the environment of our founding are left behind from that dream.
The question is, I'll rephrase it. The question is,
if you didn't hear it, somebody yelled, so what's the question?
Dream.
the question is, I'll rephrase it. The question is, isn't it true that America was contaminated by white supremacy from the very beginning? And that the genocidal acts of white supremacy, like the displacement, relocation, and massacre of the Native Indians, is an American crime and not a partisan crime. Let me answer it this way. First of all, who were the people who took the American Indians off their ancestral lands, drove them further west, enslaved the ones who stayed, killed the ones who resisted? The answer, the Jacksonian Democrats of the 19th century. They did it. Now,
Can somebody fact check that? Is that actually true? I mean, obviously, I can't take the time to do a bunch of research in the middle of a video, but if anybody knows the facts about that already, let me know. I'll look into that more after this, though. That's interesting. Didn't know that.
they did it. Now, what is the proof of this? This is very interesting. The proof of this, weirdly enough, is Hitler himself. When Hitler was sitting in Landsberg prison, Hitler had a problem, and the problem was that he wanted Germany to be a superpower in the way that Britain and France were, the superpowers of Europe. And Hitler was thinking, we have to do this through colonialism, because that's how the British and the French became powerful. The British run India, they run half of Africa, the French have colonies all over the world. Hitler thought, Germany needs to do that. But he realized, but there's nothing left to take. All the real estate on the planet has been sort of occupied. So how can Germany become a great power? And then Hitler realized. Andrew Jackson figured out how to do that in the United States. His formula was really simple. Drive the Indians off their land, kill the ones who resist, enslave the ones who remained. In other words, Jackson didn't have to leave his neighborhood. He performed genocide and colonialism right at home. And Hitler said, I got to do that. I got to take a page from the Jacksonian Democrats. I don't need to go hunting for India or Africa. I'm going to take the Poles, the Slavs, the Eastern Europeans, the Russians. I'm going to throw them off their land. If they resist, I'll kill them. If they stay back, I'll enslave them. I want every German to live on a farm. This is Adolf Hitler, taking a page from the book of the Jacksonian Democrats of the 19th century. Now, this has been exposed very recently by the historian Timothy Snyder and others. But here's again, Hitler knows something that your textbooks have evidently not taught you, which is that this was a project of the Democratic Party to create white supremacy, because Andrew Jackson stole that land, he gave it to settlers in exchange for their votes. He sold it at bargain basement prices. And so white supremacy becomes the foundational ideology of the Democratic Party, not just with regard to blacks, but also with regard to American Indians. So no, this is not a bipartisan issue. This is not an American tragedy. Remember, we fought a big civil war over issues like this. One bunch of Americans did really bad things, another bunch of Americans, otherwise called Republicans, stopped them. So...
Huh. Interesting. I didn't know that. Wait, what? So is okay, so I gotta ask this question. Is the left really that bad? Or am I just reading through an echo chamber? I need to do a deep dive onto a lot of this information, and because I'm learning some things that I previously hadn't known. I mean, the Democrats were the slave owners and wanted slavery, and the Republicans wanted to stop them, and so they had a war over it. I was always of the thought process that it was the opposite, which was eye-opening for me. And obviously it's my own fault. It's just not something that I had previously really cared too much about. I got life going on, obviously, so I just never really cared to do a deep dive into it. And now that I am, it's like, wow, there's a lot of stuff that I actually do not know, which is obvious, but you would think that something like that I would have known. It would have been in my textbooks, growing up as a kid. Like, it would have been plastered all over the place, kind of situation. I do remember learning about the Civil War, but I don't remember learning that. And then to learn that it was the Democrats that drove out the Native Americans or Indians, whatever you want to call them. I don't know the term that they want to be called at this point, but you guys know who I'm speaking about. That's also interesting. I guess it's cool, obviously, because acquiring new knowledge is always cool, but it's just like, wow, why? It starts to develop more questions. Because now I'm sitting here wondering why I haven't learned some of this stuff, why I haven't been taught some of this stuff. Obviously growing up, you just kind of have the perception that the Democratic Party is the best party. They want to help. They want to do all the good stuff. They've been the good guys the whole time, and the right, those guys, those are the really bad guys. You got to watch out for those guys. But the left, oh, they're good. They're great. And to learn all this stuff, it's like, huh. Wow. If there are any more videos like this that expose some truths, definitely send them my way. Comment them in the comment section, or you can send them to me via DM on Instagram or Twitter. Also, would you guys be interested in seeing me do some interviews with the likes of like a Thomas Sowell, a Larry Elder, Candace Owens, Ben Shapiro, AOC, anybody like that? Let me know in the comment section. Acquiring new knowledge every single day. Y'all let me know what you thought about this one in the comment section below. Like, share, comment, and of course, hit that subscribe button. It's right up over there. Click that thing right there before you go. And then check out that video too. You might like it. Peace and love. I'm out.